Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mainz and Money London 2016, and with me here is A.I.S. Resources Martyn Element, who is the chairman of the company, and wants to give us a little bit of an insight into your terrific lithium company. Martyn, good morning.
Good morning to you.
What's A.I.S. Resources about? Give us a short overview, please.
A.I.S. Resources was a company that was formed in 1967 or 68.
Whoa.
And it's quite a unique company on the TSXV. It's an investment issuer, which the translation of that would be it's a micro trading merchant bank. And I've been involved with the company for just over 2.5 years, and we've had some other investment. We have another investment in the company, which isn't really relative to what we're talking about this morning. And at the beginning of this year, I decided that we should get into the lithium space. And I had some good friends in that space. So we put an interesting hard rock situation in Quebec, lithium, and a prospect in cobalt, also in Quebec. Yes, it's a polymetallic deposit, quite an interesting deposit, and then we were in the game. But while we were in the game, I also looked around for other opportunities, and I had a relationship with a gentleman that's very active in Argentina. And bringing it right up to speed is that my opinion is that finding the deposit is not easy, but it's not the most difficult thing in the world. But once you've found the deposit, from what I'm seeing, and we are in the triangle, we're in the famous, triangle in Argentina.
The Lithium triangle, yeah.
And we're right in the right spot with neighbors of very significant around us. Once you've got that deposit, you better have an unbelievable technical team, because if you don't have the best of the best technical team, it's going to be very difficult, because it's a very moving target situation, lithium, and it makes gold mining look easy, in my opinion.
That's right. So, I mean, lithium is finally a chemical product, right?
And with that, we are just really embarking. We're one of the best performing on a percentage basis over the last 4 months on the TSXV. We were 8 or 9 cents just a short while ago. We're now in the 40-cent range. And but to stay there and to grow, we better have a very, very good technical team. And we've been fortunate enough to get a good technical team. I think the best in the country, but I'm biased. But check the credentials of the company yourselves. And with that, we've put the head of the technical team on our board as our CEO. So it's working really well. So on that note, I think I'd like to pass it over to the brains of the organization.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And with me here is now Phil Thomas, the CEO of A.I.S. Resources, and we want to dive, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
We want to dive now really into your company, into the project. As Martyn said, a great technical team. Of course, please elaborate on that. Why is the team so great?
Okay, we've had a lot of experience. I personally have done 3 lithium projects. Rincon in 2008, which was the first project to actually produce lithium apart from FMC and SQM that's been around for many years. After that, we explored Pozuelos, which is another large salar, probably one of the best in Argentina, and we basically developed that up to production stage, and then sold that on to other partners. And then the third one was Hombre Muerto, and the FMC Phoenix project was been running for quite a few years, and so we explored around the Phoenix project and found some fairly good grades of lithium. Then we moved up into the top part of the Argentinian lithium triangle and explored Positos, Salinas Grandes and Washatok. And those salars showed to have great promise, good grades, good chemistry. So when we say good chemistry, good lithium to magnesium ratios, good calcium, good potassium, and made the chemistry. And salars are all about chemistry. And the pumping rate of the aquifers. Provided those 2 elements are right, then it's good. And Washatok, which is where A.I.S. have pegged at the moment, is an exceptional salar. And I guess it's exceptional for a couple of reasons, but one of the things that gave A.I.S. a free kick was that Dr. Romina Steinmetz did her PhD there, so she spent 3 years studying it. So she gave us. She
knows exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and so she wrote that PhD in 2013, and obviously got a PhD. But it gave us a huge leap forward in terms of exploration.
Great. Exploration. How far advanced is the project now? I mean, you are not that long now in the, let's say, on on the ground. But
Yeah.
what have you done so far? What are the plans for 2017?
Okay, well, we first of all, we reconciled Ramina's work. So we looked at all her sampling points, and I was there literally last week, and we did some sampling. We dug a couple of large pits, got some brines, and they've been sent to the National Measurement Institute in Australia for testing. So we'll have those results in the next couple of days. On the 5th of December, our big sampling team will be there, and with a backhoes, and they'll be digging 24 5 metre by 3 metre by 4 metre deep trenches, and we'll sample those. We'll look at the geohydrology and do all the other testing that we have to do, which will then lead us into the drilling program, which will then lead us parallel to that into the acoustic seismic program. So they're the two main parts of exploration, which we hope will be completed by March next year.
Okay.
And then we'll be ready to start the feasibility study for production.
Exactly, that would be my next question.
Yeah.
So you want to go in production?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What could you imagine as a time horizon to go in production?
We've got
from now on.
We've
like 2-3 years, or
no, we've got a 12-month program at 2.23 million, which will get us up to banking feasibility study. We think that the cost is about $130 million. Out of the 130 million, we'll spend about $70 million on pond construction to pump the brines into the ponds, and about $60 million. But this project has a significant advantage over most other projects in the northern region, in that we being my partners and I, have a laboratory and a pilot plant, so we can do all the mass chemistry balances.
Wow.
Within the next 6-month period. We don't have to get a permit, which takes up to 2 years. To basically do that work. So there's another free kick there, so to speak, for A.I.S.
That's pretty fast. That means like 2018, it could be up and running.
We could be, and that's kind of where we're targeting. It'll take us about 18 months to put the ponds in and to build the mixing tanks. And we're using a process called fractional crystallization, which is fairly simple once you do your homework. Once you've got your pilot plant laboratory, it's simple. If you don't have one of those, it's very complex.
Perfect.
And the process took me 3 years at Rincon, so to do it. So now that we've done it a couple of times, we've got it down pat. We've had a bit of practice.
Great. How much money is in the bank? Are you financed through that?
Yeah, we're gradually finance or raising capital as we go through each stage, as you do. So we've just completed a $500,000 capital raising. Our next port of call is about a $10 million capital raising, a 10 million US, and once that's done, we'll do a $30 million capital raising and probably combine that with a $100 million debt piece from one of the major mining banks.
Okay, wow, fantastic. Who are so far the major shareholders? Who is involved in the game? And what's management share, of course?
Okay, management, we all have a stake in it. I think management is roughly about 15% of the...
15,
yeah, 15%, 15. And it's just a variety of people that have got behind Martyn and myself, and Mark Enright Morin, our CEO, and he basically has got a fairly tight shareholding group. And it's very tightly held.
So it's well controlled.
Yes, and it's 21 million shares, so there's not a lot of stock
that's
out.
really nothing, honestly. That's
No.
amazing.
It is. It is.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah, so basically the 130 million around you need. Any ideas how you want to do that?
Yeah, well, we'll just do a straight placement after the banking feasibility study's finished. So our expenditure is $4.5 million to buy the property, $2.23 million to get to the banking feasibility study stage. We have a very big marketing program, so we will be talking to the 17 electrolyte manufacturers in Japan, the big traders in Korea, some of the manufacturers in Taiwan, some of the players in Europe, in Italy, in the ceramic business, some of the Latin American aluminium producers. They all need lithium. Our target production is about 8,000 tonnes. So 8,000 tonnes slips into a 150,000 tonne market. It's less than 10%.
That's no problem.
Yeah.
And this market is growing.
It is, absolutely. So we will build the plant for 16,000 tonnes, but of course the ponds are the big expensive part because we
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
line them with low density polyethylene. So
Yes.
that takes a bit of time and effort.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
great, fantastic. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
And we keep fingers crossed for you guys
Yeah.
and look forward to some update next year then.
Thank you.
Hey, great,
we'll
thank you
be
very
happy
much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Martyn Element, and also now, of course, it was Phil Thomas, the CEO of the company of A.I.S. Resources. And you heard it, $130 million altogether they need to invest to get in production. Production would be possible from 2018 onwards. They are now working on the feasibility for next year, of course. There's enough money in the bank and only 21 million shares outstanding. Guys, honestly, that's a company which is quite seldom with 21 million shares in that stage. Well controlled, 15% by the management. So check it out. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from London.
Bye-bye.